concept of digital and precision agriculture. Also, we have access to coaching and mentorship for industry leaders and professionals. Um, so through our global faculties, we have direct information to um, our coaching and mentorship platforms, and that comes through programs like this. So at Precision Field Academy, we're building a community of young tech inclined and digitally savvy farmers and professionals. So we have various courses, like you mentioned, on GIS, data science, remote sensing. So for this edition, our partners are listed above: Integrated Representation, Dev Global, DJ Academy, Dev Afrique, International Society for Precision Agriculture. We also have African Association for Precision Agriculture, River State University, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, and Federal University of Technology, Mina. Alright, so for our global faculty, these are the phase. So some of them have done their training already. So we have other ones who are going to be coming soon. Alright, so I quickly want to bring up the speaker that we have for today. Ms. Tolulope. So let me quickly read through her profile. Alright, so Tolulope is an innovation ecosystem builder whose career have evolved from grassroots agribusiness development into leading programs, advising startups and shaping entrepreneurial ecosystem across Africa. She is passionate about she's passionate about solving real problems and empowering others to do the same. She currently serves as head of programs and ventures at Innovate Hub, where she designs and manages initiatives that guide startups through venture creation, prototype development, sustainability and impact at the core. Tolulope also serves as the managing ambassador for Africa and the Middle East, and ensuring young changemakers have a seat at the table. Known for her collaborative and impact-focused approach, Tolulope thrives at the intersection of innovation, entrepreneurship, and youth leadership. Whether mentoring founders, consulting on strategy, or facilitating pitch deck workshops, she brings structures, clarity, and energy to help ideas and organizations grow. In 2025, she is focused on consulting projects that deliver both revenue and relevance, partnering with purpose-driven teams, and speaking on platforms that highlight innovation and youth leadership. For Tolulope, the mission is clear: ignite potential in people, community, and ideas, and turn it into a lasting impact. So bring her up to the stage now. Um, Hello, good afternoon, Ma. Can you hear me?
Can Hello?
Okay, good afternoon, Ma. Hello, I can hear you. I can hear you. You're audible. So you have the
Uh,
floor now, Ma. You can go ahead with your presentation or what you have for us.
Good afternoon, everyone joining. Even though I can't see how many call, but it will be to an idea of the audience that are. Do we
Okay,
have an
yeah,
audience on this call to
yes.
guide?
Okay,
Okay.
so we have them already commenting. By the right side of the page, you would see some comments with their engagement. Although their audio cannot be projected from here, but you would see comment, and if we have questions or notable comments, we'll put it on the screen for you to note, if that's fine.
So thank you very much, Femi, for for inviting me. Young agricultural potentials, those that have budding interest in those that have budding interest to see how they can take their ideas and take it to the market, right? And, I know that this also spans from graduates and also precision agriculture and innovation and integrated area precision is known for. Not a mistake that you're part of this cohort and you're a part of this program. So just taking it uh, the into the topic of discussion focused on agritech innovation from idea. Um, First of all, when about agriculture, because I see that there are three main things we need to understand from this. We have agriculture, we have technology, and we now when we culture business, because talking about agriculture, of course, there's no guarantee from the crude way agriculture is perceived, but money is going to be made is on agribusiness. Because it's the business of agriculture is one that prioritizes how you can generate revenue in the food crisis. We talk about technology. Technology is here to stay, and technology is supposed to aid and support innovators. Supposed to achieve precision. Okay, if we give an example with the drone technology, it's integrated precision. With integrated precision, precision see that use of technology is something the business with. I'm laying reference because at least that you understand, even though I'll be using some case to explain the other part. Okay. Technology is something that supports and improve your processes. So technology in this case, take it as using tech to improve the processes of agribusiness. Okay, I'm ready. Not innovation. Innovation is that thing that gives you an currently doing. Because again, another thing that exemplifies you in is ability for you to be initiative, because that is what gives you a competitive edge over what every other person is doing, right? So when you talk about competitive edge, they need the strong need for innovation. Everybody can be farmers, can be a farmer. Everyone can be a processor. Not everyone has innovative components of their innovations or their. And even when you want to apply, let's say you are applying for a grant. Let me give an example. Now there will be a that would also be that I consult in the US that across Africa. I'm one of the evaluators. So I'm giving you this feedback based on my experience by agribusinesses in Africa. So one thing, so imagine if we are receiving about 3,000 applications, select just 12. It means it is competitive, right? It's meeting the standard requirements of. There is also below. What's new? Oh, everybody is doing change. This is where innovation comes. Now we're going into and seeing it how you take it to market. right? And in my day to day consulting for firms and also implementing programs, one key thing, sorry, is for that. Yeah, so I would have really loved to be seeing that the screen, but it can't be up. So now, just many at times when I see when startup founders come up with perceived ideas, we just see a problem in this in the society, and then we think, okay, I want to solve this problem. But seeing an idea or having an idea or identifying a problem and coming up with a solution is not just it, right? Okay, you have an idea. Oh, maybe you realize that, oh, there is no pure water. So let me give you an example. Okay, let me use a Greek. Hmm. Okay, I want to use a very simple example to this question. While I know that it is a Greek we are talking about, but let me use as a random general day to day explain this scenario. Let's in your community, you notice that there's no domicile pure water company, and right, the community, you have done your research, or you realize that all comes into that community of maybe about um, you realize that everything is out of and comes in. Now their cost, so that's an idea. All this water that we are drinking here, used here. Why is nobody thinking of producing, right? Then the next question, what's the next solution? I want to develop a water processing company. Pure within the community, distribution network within the community is easy, and then you can start a business out of it. Being all the whole cost, come into the market with price, quality that has the required certification. Maybe I should bring it down, close down to agriculture. Gari that is being consumed in that community comes from, maybe you are in the east, the Bugari. Things you can actually do. If you have the steel capacity, there are two approaches and two. You can eat in the cake, right? By the cake by actually getting a supplier from the southwest and then selling in that. Now, when we think about agribusiness, start from the tail end of the value chain, which is production. No, production is one component, right? It is not just the selling. Then, but let me go on with my story on how ideas are conceived. Now, that pure water sachet company now that you've already seen that there's an idea, there's a need, and what's the solution? And verify from the market. Why is it that nobody, don't assume, why is it that nobody has produced pure water in this community? Is it that maybe because of the water infrastructure in that community is one, you cannot even buy the water to an extent that it is drinkable? Maybe there are sanctions or some government that says that this is not possible. Now, then again, how big is the problem? So key things to when you are considering that you identify that is worth solving. Not all problem that is identified is worth solving. Now, what are the criteria for you to work on? Because agribusiness, you have to think business. Question now is that what, how big problem? The stake to this is actually a problem, then don't solve it. Now, if they if you go and solve a problem that is not big enough. Okay, let me give an example. You want to create a whole business that probably you invest, and now market is in different, very, very different. B2C, right? And 200. And the price point for the unit is $2. So the point is that there's not enough market worth the investment. So that's why I said it's not all ideas are worth solving. I said if you are planning to do a charity organization, if you are talking about business, you have to make sure that it is worth solving and it is a big enough problem. It's a problem that can, if you solve, you can scale over time, even after running your pilot. Now, once you verify, now I always tell founders this thing: your first idea may suck. You can go to the market now when you go and do a market validation of, is this problem really a problem? What would be the features that the entrepreneurs, like the market, will want to see? What is their pain point? Really, because sometimes those insights, you may have to pivot. Your first idea may really suck. So you may have to pivot your idea into moving into another thing. Sometimes when you do market validation, you might even realize that there's an even greater problem to be solved than that problem that you're solving. So I tell founders, keep an open mind, but make sure that you are building a solution for the market. Don't fall in love with your idea. Fall in love with the solution. Fall in love with the needs of the market. That is it. So because you can fall in love with your idea, family and friends will patronize you the first few months. After that, you go through a downward steep. You go through a downward steep in that idea that you have conceived. So you don't need to waste your time, effort, and resources on something that is not big enough to be solved, or is an idea that people are not interested in, and you just assumed that is a problem. Because sometimes we might think this is a problem, whereas there's actually something solving that problem. But because we have never experienced or ever used it, that is why research is important. I hope you are with me. You go from idea, you have an idea. The next idea is you have to validate that this is actually an idea. You also need to verify that this idea is big enough to be solved. Now, once you have done that, you have gathered insights. You have to now make informed decision from these insights that you have gathered. Oh, okay. This idea now, okay, this is what the market is telling me, so that you can form and frame up business intelligence from it. Right? Data is king, I always say. And so if you jump the gun, you will waste money and you will come back to that point. So in a process of developing an idea and taking it to market, you cannot skip any stage. If you skip it, you will come back to it. It will bite you. So let me give an example. Let's say you are building, like the work I do today. Let's say you are building a hardware solution. Now, this hardware solution that you are trying to build, you are starting from idea, okay? And now in your market validation, you did not find out, oh, does the market really need it? What kind of solution? How are they currently solving this problem? What are the complementary and supplementary services? If you're in the service industry, alternative this thing for this solution. If you are in product, if you are in the product sector, you have to find out. So you have to also understand what competitive edge can you have? What are others not doing? What are the problems or the challenges that others are? No need to reinvent the wheel. If there's a solution that is currently addressing that market, you don't need to come and waste your energy. The point is you need to find out what they are not doing right and use that as your market entry strategy for whatever you're developing. So if you are building a software solution or you are building a hardware solution, imagine if you jump this step of proper market validation without going straight to build the solution. Now, when you build it, market, then no sales. The idea will pack up faster than you started it. What is a business that the and there's a steep competition in the market and there's really nothing innovative about it? Please drop that idea. Drop it. It's not worth it because it's going to be wasted energy, wasted resources, wasted sweat equity. Okay, so now, oh, you have come up with the idea, you have developing the solution, you have verified that it's innovative, there's the technology component to it, maybe be it software or hardware solution, you have built it. Okay, let me find an example, practical one for an agric innovation. So in the north, there are a lot of small holdings. I'll give you an example. There are a lot of small holdings that have like 10 cows, 15 cows, and then there are headers, cattle headers, that also have like maybe 50 cows, 100 cows, 20 cows, 30 cows. Now, currently, the milk industry is informal in the north, especially when it comes to fura de nunu and this. Now, the process of milking the cow is very, very complicated. Okay, and though there might be alternative, there might be existing solution out there, but are they small? Is there a market? Is there an aggregation channel that makes sure that the quality of the milk that you can get, even from these ones that probably they are not produced, they are produced for meat, not for milk, but at least they produce milk. It can be an alternative source of income for the farmers. Oh, is there an issue with my network? Can we hear me well? Because I can see some comments about my network issues. If you can hear me, please just chat. I can hear you.
You're audible, man.
Okay,
Like you're
thank
still
you. I
audible.
just wanted. Thank you. Um. Okay, so as I was saying, you have to come up with an idea that I think I lost my my train of chats from that comment. But anyway, going back to the conversation on the milking system. Now imagine you have a solution that is not complicated, it's something very simple and can be a model that's a simple this thing. You can create a system that will milk the cows, maintain the maintain the quality and the status of the milk and get it across to milk in a way that they can verify that it's quality and it has a good standard, right? That's already a business. That's an idea, but it's an idea, but I will say that you validate it in the north and see what is the true position of this idea. So this is one of the projects that sometimes are things that I hear about, and then we'll ask them to go and do their market validation, do their due diligence, be sure that okay, what is the quantity of herds of cattle? I think it's herds of cattle, right? Anyway, that is available in a particular community. I like to say it's always don't always assume that you want to address a problem that is the entire Nigeria or the entire Africa. So that's why when people say I've developed a solution that will solve food insecurity challenges in Africa, my own is you have not even done something small. You have not even started with Ogun State, or you have not even started with Abuja. You're already telling me Africa. No, you run your pilot. There's this interview by Jack Ma that I watched, whereby I was saying that if he's asking you a question and you cannot verify the small you have been able to do, and you are giving me the big potential, then I see you as not a serious minded business owner. If people like Jack Ma can be saying this, so how much more us? So please, as much as you want to validate and see how big this problem is, you have to be specific to, let me run a pilot. That is an entry to the market. You have looked at the entire Nigeria. There are some states that have strength over the other. Maybe you are talking about, for example, now you now want to do a business that is into, yeah, because the ginger belt is in the north, is in one of the states in the north. Spicy, one of the best quality strand of ginger, because ginger is based on the spice. Now imagine you want to go into, because I've had clients too that will tell me, I want to go into say, oh, the processing site in Ogun State. First of all, Ogun State is not on the belt. So even if you are, the likelihood that is wrong. That state is not on the quality of ginger that the international market is based on the spice. The quality of the spice. Now, if you come to me and such project, I just told the owner of the business, I'm not interested in consulting. What happens is that they get their fingers on. So what is the essence of going all the way to waste money when you cannot already quickly find solutions early on? So I hope we're one or two things from where my opinion is coming from, right? So important and love with your idea, but fall in love with the solution to solve, right? So once you have that, the potential impact it can make, the idea is to start small. Start within a region, start within a locality, start within your means. Big good things take time. Good things take, and it and growth. Do of humble beginnings. Start small. While you can see that it has vast potential, there's an experience, there's a from starting small. There's a lot of lessons you will learn from starting. Encourage and advise in every idea that we're ever betting. Those are the key things that you need to consider. Market entry strategy, which is the very most important part. After you have done it, you have an expectation that you out of it. You have to have a strategy, software-based solution. Without a way, they even raise investments from a wait list. So you want to do something that verifies a product. To say 1 million people waiting for this our solution, you're already guaranteeing the investor that if you invest in the to use our raise money from such. So depending on the context of your idea or for what you want to do, it's very, very crucial for you to, how are you going to enter? What do you need to get into market? For some type of businesses, you need to at least do the end-to-end process on a small scale to suit exactly what the market needs. You know, before building the solution, you first went to the market. Now, after you are based on the market, develop the idea. Now, you don't have to go out, run to validate problem again. to test the solution that it actually works. Now, once you have tested it, that this solution actually works, move into the next stage, right? Which is small scale production. Stage again depends, not a one size fits all approach. Some people, they might need investment for cloud architecture if you're in the software space now, and these things don't come cheap. You need cloud. If you are a platform that you need some institutions to certify that your platform is secure. You need like something that will make it smooth and seamless. You need cloud money, right? But you have the idea, you have the right. What the invested in or not, either grants or equity. The lack of a proper team, even if you have a big idea, you know by heart thing you need to take out of this thing. You have to know your numbers, and you cannot know your numbers at that. I know that with as you get bigger, cost of production will reduce. You even need to understand what constitutes. A lot of businesses fold up because they don't even, or they don't get their pricing right. Now, if you don't get your pricing right, that's also another challenge. So it's always good to get your pricing right. And how will you get some of the details if you do not give yourself room to test the idea, right? And so understand the little bits of challenges and face, even when you need to scale. It also lets you know, okay, if I want to move to stage 2 from this pilot I've done, what more do I need? Using a 1-bedroom apartment with 2, 3, maximum production is, let's say, 1 gram of sugar. So you know that to scale, you need to have equipment. That way you can specify your number. Then I need to, if I don't want to, there's a technology, I need to buy this machine and equipment. Nice. We got a demand of 12,000 kg, but 1,000 kg per week. That's all to an investor. There's money here, this person just lacks the trust and give you money. Anytime anybody speaks from a position of, they already know their number of the time they receive funding. What happened is we are always rigmaroling on big concepts that we don't have the nitty-gritty detail. Me, grant evaluator, reviewer on many funds, identify. So when you are just coming as if you are talking as a motivator cannot be a business person. Don't come and motivate me. Don't problem. We know that problem. There's food insecurity in Africa. In Africa, we import a lot of food. In Nigeria, don't give me that. Tell me in brief and concise the problem. Show me understand what you this stage to the other stage. Then I understand that you and you know what you're saying. And again, you cannot be a one-man show. If you cannot show me that you have the technical skills, a brilliant idea, you want to brilliantly solve it, you're able to convince me that you understand, you're able to show us that you're currently doing and how you're able to prove to me your unique selling point. The next thing I want to see is have what to move the team to drive. A lot of funders these days, they know the ideas, talk cheap. They even now want to go to know the integrity founders. If they do not know the integrity or they trust the integrities of the founders, they don't fund again. Don't fund again. So at this, I want comment sections, you can start asking your questions so that my best approach is I love to direct as it really do, because I feel the best way for you to learn and quickly implement the of my teaching in your yes. So I'm going through the summarize what I've established today. You have to, when you identify that problem, you have to find out from the market how big is that. The problem is not big enough, it's not worth solving, right? After that, also need to do a proper on the problem, because what that brings out is sometimes it might even show you a greater problem that's even worth solving than even the, right? Now, once you have done that, the next thing is you want to go into the product development stage and the idea generation stage. So if is that, oh, nothing stops you before you actually start building the solution to start finding some angel investors, some small money, solution development. You are moving progressively because you cannot sit and wait. Ideas are flying everywhere, and a lot of people come up with ideas minute per second. So it's very key and very important that you take baby steps. Take baby steps. And you progress in that way. Now, that you now need to do further needs assessment, problem, the solution. You have to find your market size, total addressable market, serviceable addressable market, and serviceable obtainable market. The total addressable market is like maybe, for example, right? You are the problem in Nigeria, and this is the market for that in Nigeria. Market can be your to southeast Nigeria, right? Or northern Ghana. Your total addressable market is northern, is the old Ghana, and then your serviceable addressable is not Ghana. You serviceable obtainable market is where you want to start with, right? Where you want to start with maybe is Tamale. If we have Ghanaians on the call, Tamale is a particular region in the north part of Ghana. In Nigeria, focus on Kaduna. And then, okay, you have to identify what is the market size in that Kaduna that you want to start with. And who are the competitors right now? Who are the competitors of direct competition? Substitute goods and also complementary. You need to understand the dynamics because this business is not. Let's also mention something I've not mentioned before. You know, they used to say data is king, data is king, data is king. Do you know that some people don't even know that they are told that they businesses or brand convince people, especially foreign product, they convince you that you need it, and you actually buy. How has Nike convince you that Nike is durability, is durable? So you are thinking Nike is the best because they've been able to understand your persona as a person. They understand your persona and they are telling you that they are selling shoes. They are selling you comfort, you strength, a brand you can trust. Now, when you look at or cowbell is coming to tell you LD, and you see them with kids. They are showing you LD, they are showing you calcium. Cowbell is not coming to tell you that we are the best milk in town. No. their they sell the value of their product, not the actual product. So please note that you need to sell the value of the product based on your understanding of the user persona. Sell value based on persona of your end user. Don't sell products. I think it's good if you can write that down. Sell value from your market. Now I can start up apply the experience the agritech innovation from idea to market. Is gained. Of course, everyone needs an opportunity to learn. So when you learn under your mentors, you don't even need to spend money because doing it afraid. The mentor is learning on. So a mentor in that capacity, learning ground, mentorship, everything. That's another subject. That's another. Of course, the ability for you to have a mentor is it gives you an opportunity to learn. So as you can learn, please learn the good side of your mentor. Also, learn not so good means the mistakes of your mentors so that you don't make the same mistakes. Okay? Mentorship is key because without good mentors and without mentorship, you will not have a level playing ground and experiment. And then mentors, especially if you have good mentors, they. So what is the point of having a mentor who knows now from a better perspective that if I had known this now 10 years ago, they will not be where they are. So learn that mentor because it's giving you 10 years experience. But to be able to decipher between if your mentor is saying out of the fact that they are edge, because you can overtake is allowed. You can overtake your mentor. You can even be greater than your mentor. You wouldn't want a good mentor wants you to be greater than him or can a startup. So I think that after identifying the market, it does and find where you can. Okay. Now, what if the problem the target market is adamant or not financially? So, what if the problem but the target market is adamant? There is no way that you have done your market validation and your due because this comment is an assumption. If you identify there is a big enough problem, the same market is adamant solve. Because if you go to do your market validation, you ask them what type of solution will help you to solve this. Are you willing to buy? If the solution is like this, buy. If this solution is made available. So if you have done all of those due diligence, the reason why you get to this stage that the target market is adamant is because you have not done a proper market validation. Right? So the mix up here is that you have a problem and because you did not ask those key questions that you at which you only get validation. Okay? Yeah, are there more questions? Are there more questions? Can a startup? No, I've already answered this question. The one from Elizabeth. Yeah. So if there are any more questions, please communicate in the chat of this. However, I hope that you found
Yeah,
this
more
session
questions. I think
insightful.
This is the second question. She's asking, can a startup apply the experience gained from working with a mentor to successfully grow and scale the agri-tech innovation from idea to market? I don't know if you
Yes,
have
I
anything
answered
to
this
say to that.
first question. I answered.
Okay. Let me see.
There are only two sections. Two questions in the comment section. This from a listener,
Yes, yes. I think this is the second one
and
you've
also
answered
the
to.
one
You've answered
and
that
this.
already too. Okay. Uh, there are no more other questions, but I think people have been able to gain.
Okay, sometimes the innovator like ideas to life and the source of funding, the business proposal. How is the business idea protected from being stolen? Now, I don't think there's any investor. There's something called trade secrets and intellectual. That's why, so before you, it's not everything about your idea that needs to be said. And I tell startups a lot of times, especially researchers that I work with. You don't need to tell everyone. Researchers think research for publication, so they, because the outcome to get promoted. So the more thorough or more detailed sharing is, the better they think it is for them. Now, what I would say is that it's a lie, because people that want to invest also want you to be able to protect the intellectual property of your idea. So if you are coming up with, you are not putting the nitty gritty or what makes you on you, those trade secrets. Two things you can do. If your idea is innovative and is novel, make sure you patent it. If you have it patented, it cannot be stolen. So there are some things by yourself as a business owner, depending on the complexities or the delicacy of your innovation, that you need to protect, you know, before you go ahead. So you have lack access to funds. I think I've already stated that you can go about accessing funds through grants. But again, sometimes people will say, before I can start this project, I need 50 million naira. Or, I need $1,000. You are not ready. Start small. It will come with time. If you need to validate, you need to prove. Now, you don't have to go and secure investment early. Some people believe in it. If you run too fast to secure investment, if you secure investment, these investors will skin you alive. They will take your money and they can keep. So, one size fit all approach, like I said. You need to understand where you are with your business, what your business is about, and then you will now be able to determine what you get. Things. Talk about the role of extension agents. So, what is the business? Depends on the business. If you talk or you work with extension, you have to understand. So, there's something called market analysis, distribution lines. In the maybe software service, you have a solution. Farmers detect, and maybe there's something is wrong with the crop just by scanning. Let's say that's your solution. And there's a network of 1 million. You have access to 1 million, and then you need them to be to sell here to the your network. You have to create a formula for them to be valuable, right? And then that is it. Now, when you talk, product managers are different from extension agents. Product manager is oversees and conceptualizes the entire idea, maps out who is for the distribution channel, how do you sell it, who, right? The product manager can also be the founder of, manager can also be a, it depends on what the, but when they are the people you need to communicate the value or help you promote your product. So there are two different things. I hope that helps. Amarachi. Okay. Would there be any other? I have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So in case there's any other question that you need, is just take it that there's not a one size fits all. These principles are very, very aware of in your journey to taking your ideas to market.
Okay. Uh, there are no more questions, so trying to get to the stage. Just one second.
All right. So
All
at the
right. So
absence of no question, thank you very much. It was a pleasure speaking with you all this pleasant afternoon, wherever you're in, and I wish you success in your endeavors going forward. Bye bye.
All right, thank you very much for coming, man. We sincerely appreciate your presence. On behalf of the Christian Field Academy team, expressing our profound gratitude for you honoring us to facilitate this session. Thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Yes. Bye bye. All right. So, hello everyone. So the second section, the afternoon section, will be starting exactly 3 p.m. So I the link for the class will be sent to the group, so we can join it. It's a different. So we're discussing on data science application in agriculture. So it's a very comprehensive course on data science application in agriculture now. So look forward to it exactly by 3 p.m. Kindly be notified, and also do well to share once we send it to the group. Do well to share with your loved ones, or watch out. Once it's 3 p.m. we go live. All right. Thank you.